Good afternoon, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. Here's an update on the tropics. We have an area of concern out in the Caribbean, southern Gulf of Mexico. There's two areas of disturbed weather out in the middle of the Atlantic. They now have a 20% chance of development. Those have been downgraded from yesterday, but things have remained unchanged out in the Caribbean, southern Gulf of Mexico. Nothing has formed as of now, but models are indicating that we could see some of this disturbed weather that's in and around Panama move northward, and that could spin up into a low pressure system in and around the Yucatan in the coming days. Mainly by the middle of next week, we could be looking at a low pressure system. So something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of uncertainty involving this system. Weather models are sort of all over the place involving this potential low pressure system. But what we do know is that the American model showing that moving off towards the northeast as we head into much at the end of next week. So just keep in mind that we are in hurricane season. What we do know is that we have that Central American gyre that usually forms in late spring and early fall, which is what we're seeing right now. And that usually occasionally spins up into some storms, and it could send them our way. So folks from Veracruz, Mexico, along the Texas coast, even New Orleans, off the Florida coast, even to the Keys of Florida, should be monitoring this situation fairly closely in the coming days. But like I said, lots of uncertainty involving this as we go into the end of next week. So we are in the busy part of hurricane season. Hurricane season, as a reminder, lasts until November 30th. 2/3 of all activity happens now between October. So monitor the forecast every day as we progress the next 2 weeks. And you can always do that by going to KHOU.com as well as on the KHOU app there. So looking at those temperatures, we're seeing those 90-degree temps across the board. We're going to have mostly hot and humid conditions. That's not going away for us here across Southeast Texas. We broke a high temperature record yesterday, got up to 96 out at Bush Airport. I think it was actually 98 degrees, but overnight lows dropping to 75 degrees, mostly partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows where we'll see those temps just remaining mostly hot and humid through the day. So those feels like temps, it's what's really going to cause those temps to feel all the more hotter is that atmospheric moisture levels. It's going to cause those feels like temps to be in the upper 90s, 100 degrees as we head into Saturday into Sunday. So even though we are in September, still practice those heat safety measures as we head into the next 48 hours for our weekend if you do have those outdoor plans. We have that dome of high pressure that's been keeping us hot and dry. Models are indicating that that's going to be moving off towards the east by next week, and we could get a low pressure system, bring some showers and some possible isolated storms by Monday and Tuesday. So starting on Monday, every afternoon is going to have the potential for some isolated storm activity. So some of us might be fortunate enough to get a bit of a cool down for the early next week. Temps slightly cooler. And when I mean cooler, maybe a degree or two as we head into those afternoon hours. So we're going to go from the upper 90s, maybe to mid 90s for next week. So for next 10 days, high temps remaining above average through this next weekend, getting up to 92 for Monday. But for your 7-day forecast, mostly sunny skies. First day of fall is going to be occurring on Sunday, and we're going to ring in fall fairly hot here across Southeast Texas, and we're going to keep that rain chance in the picture from Monday through Wednesday. Very isolated in nature going into the middle of next week, but unfortunately, high temps remaining in the 90s, at least for the next 7 days.